Sasquatch, Yahoo, Phantom of the Forest, you Spear Finger, Fire Dragon, Ohio Grassman, Silver Giant, Bloodless Howler, West Virginia Vampire, Coyote King, Hogzilla, Devil, Dark Coyote Killer. Cave creature, Mothman, Smoke Wolf, a Lizard Demon, Ashman, Grafton Monster, Cow-killing Bastard, Shadow Creature, Dustman, Cherokee, Death Cat, Wild Man, Great Fire Rape. What else do I have to say? Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet. Snarly Gastro Team, Red Island Bear Beast, Silver Giant, Squalling Savage, Black Wolf was kind of average, Stone Giant, Raven Mocker, Midnight Whistler, Wampus Beast, Wawa Woman, Ohio Grassman again. Technically Huckleberry Wolfman or Wolf County, need to find the X again if we hunt the Lightning Man. Webster's Werewolf, Daily Howl, Kentucky Hellhound, Little Girl, Headless Horror, I can't take it anymore. Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet.
Well, this here's BIGFEETS, the only Mountain Monsters watch-along podcast. I'm Robert Brockway, and I've got yet another headless horror problem.
And I'm the internet's Sean Baby. Lionheart proved a pleasure to choreograph. The actors included several of my former students, some of whom had gone on to become instructors themselves. One was Stuart Wilson, who appeared in the film as the Scotsman, engaging in the only fight scene in which Jean-Claude Van Damme left my choreography entirely intact. Stuart proved quite formidable. He had to be, growing up as the son of Mr. Don't Squeeze the Charmin Whipple.
And I am New York Times bestselling author Jason Pargin. What I like about the book that Sean reads from there, and for the uninitiated, he is reading excerpts from The Secret Man by a man named Frank Dukes, is that if you paused in the middle of any passage he reads and asked with a gun to our heads, me and Brockway, to predict what the ending of that passage is going to be, we would be right exactly 0% of the time.
Never get it.
Stuart,
You could give
don't
us...
squeeze the Charmin Whipple. That was my guess. I had it ready.
you give us 5,000 guesses. Where do you think this anecdote is going? And he always surprises you. A truly gifted storyteller. I cannot believe, and I guess his thing was like, look, I gave you one perfect story, and that's it.
That's it. And then he spent the rest of his life trying to convince people, no, it's true. I swear to God, it's true. Oh, by the way, it says he executed the Kumite choreography perfectly. This was supposed to be exactly what he did in the Kumite, what he taught this guy. And if you've seen Lionheart, the choreography that Frank Dukes taught him was get punched in the face like 50 times and then jump off of a car and bash the shit out of the guy with like A-team haymakers. So
they had a car in the arena.
I guess they had a car. Yeah.
That would have been cooler. That would have been cooler to see if they put that in Bloodsport. Like if they had like a car stage,
Yeah.
like Street Fighter.
Oh, yeah. Someone could use car karate, drive over people.
Jesus Christ. Does he mean that it's the guy from the Don't Squeeze the Charmin commercials?
Yes.
Okay.
It's his son, and that's why he's so fucking tough.
That's why
The
he's
guy
so tough.
sold toilet paper on TV. Can you imagine? Such a crucible of violence?
Incredible. Okay, well, we're here. We're here to talk Mountain Monsters. Before we get into that, where can people find more from you, Jason?
The new book in the John Dies at the End series is up for pre-order. Some people in the world, by the time you hear this, will have read it because the preview copies will have gone out. Neither of these men will have seen it. That's only I only send them to celebrities now because I am an influencer.
Like Stuart, don't squeeze the Charmin Whipple. He's getting one.
Rizzler's getting one.
The Rizzler, yeah. He's in the book, so why wouldn't he? The title of the book, There Are No Giant Crabs in This Novel, a novel of giant crabs. It is available in all formats. The buy links are conveniently at bit.ly/crabs, crabs, crabs. The word crabs 3 times. bit.ly/crabs, crabs, crabs.
Only put crabs twice, you're getting something real different.
I'm sure you do. Almost all of the URLs are taken. Strangely, that one wasn't.
Sean, how about you?
Go to 1-900hotdog.com for the last comedy website. We got a lot of world-class comedy writers, the last of our kind, writing articles with images and text about very, very strange things. Patreon.com/1900hotdog. That's how you support this podcast and our other podcasts called the Dog Zone 9000. And, of course, like I mentioned, the very, very last comedy website.
Yes,
when it's over, we just die. We just drop dead at the end of it.
Because there are no advertisements on any of it. That Patreon pays all of the writers. It pays Jamie, who makes this podcast possible. If we were left to our own devices, you would never have heard it. So, yes, please, that's the Patreon. It's what pays in that. And, of course, our sponsor today, KidBet. The gambling app that's only for children. You must be 13 and under to steal your parents' credit card.
My daughter lost everything.
You can still bet like on what kids do if you're an adult, though.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to steal your child's credit card and use it on the site.
Okay. Right.
But,
not anything. Racing, fighting, sure. How long they can hold their breath? Absolutely. God, what are some other comedy kid endangerments we could do?
None that I could say. None that I should say. Hey, speaking of, I am no longer legally obligated to promote my new book. In fact, my publisher has asked me to stop. So I am here promoting my new book. It's called I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200. And everything I'm about to say in this episode about drinking bull semen is specifically endorsed by my publishers. That's it. That's the plug. If you like bull semen, lots of it in the book.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. And he doesn't mean that it's referenced in the book. He means the actual physical book you're holding in your hand.
This is real. They did make a book a little while ago that if you scratched it, it smelled like Hellman's mayonnaise. It was a promotional thing that they did. It's a real thing. Mm-hmm. Or no, Hellman's mustard, maybe? Something like that. Anyway,
the one
that's
they
what
make out of the
with
semen.
my book.
Yeah, I was a consultant on the book.
With my book.
Brockway texted me and said, how much bull semen can you drink? And I told him, and he says, that's how many pages the book will be. And I said, do I get a credit? And he said, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
and so
352 bull semens.
More than you think.
Yeah. It sounds like more than you think. We are a Mountain Monsters Watch Along podcast. Before we get into it, I just real quick want to say that we are going through right now the realization that there are now 2 spin-off shows for Mountain Monsters going on that directly hate each other and are warring over the same storyline that happened in the last season of Mountain Monsters, which we're covering now. It's everything we've ever dreamed of and more. I don't know what we did to become so gifted. I do want to point out that the show is called Monster Mondays. Is the new rival show, and the original spin-off show from Buck is called Sons of Appalachia. Please do go support both of them so that we can watch them fight when we get to that part of the podcast.
Or rekindle their love.
That the top it's not love. The top comment on the Monster Mondays episode where they announced they have Jeff and Willie on, and they too are going to be doing the Tiger Valley storyline. The top comment is currently in response to all of the people who are saying that this is a disgrace and they should not have done this, and it's a disgrace for them to rip off and divide the teams even further. And the top comment is explaining it's not a disgrace.
Case closed.
We would know if it was. We have a sense of shame. Or else we would not be pretending to do Bigfoot in the woods. By the way, Monster Mondays is straight up ripping off Mountain Monsters to the point that like the similar fonts, the opening disclaimer is the same. Like it is very clearly supposed to be to kind of make you even think that maybe it's from the same people.
Yeah,
By the way,
it's on season 3, so it's an ongoing thing before this.
every time I try to look up and see what Colt Straub is doing today, there's nothing. All of his credits just stop abruptly. So now I am starting to worry.
He made his hunk show. That's all he needs to do. He perfected the art he came here to gift the world, and then he walked off into the ocean.
If nobody knows what he's referencing, there's a show on the Roku channel called UFO Cowboys where it is Mountain Monsters only. He cast a bunch of sexy hunk cowboys. They're like muscly stuntmen, and they take their shirts off, and it's like it's kind of a Mountain Monsters porn parody. It very much plays like.
And then he wept for there were no more worlds to conquer. That was it.
But I guess now that it occurs to me that with now only 9, this 10 episode season, I think
so. I don't know.
with only 9 episodes remaining, like right after this show ended in 2022, they split up. They did a few public appearances, but it was not long after this. So we should be looking for clues in this season as to what eventually, because again, for reference, it's Jeff and Willie split from Buck, Wild Bill, and Huckleberry, and Jeff insists that the split was their idea and that he would reconcile himself anytime they wanted. Willie actively went on Facebook and said, "Hey guys, you want me to come join Sons of Appalachia, be your trap builder?" So he seems to not understand what the beef is at all. But Jeff keeps, because again, to be clear, anytime any of these men post anything on YouTube, social media, anywhere, the top comment is always, "Why do you abandon your brothers? Trapper would have wanted you to remain together. That was his life's work. He would not be happy to see you feuding like this." So something happened that I mentioned the last episode that Buck says his legal team has told him he cannot discuss publicly. No one knows what it is. There's tons of speculation. So we can, again, these men did a show together for an entire decade. And then in between seasons, they toured the country together. The 6 of them or the 5 of them as a group. They slept in the same tent, fully nude. For months on end, in a pile. And for something happened to just divide them that cannot be reconciled, where Buck won't even consider it.
That can't be mentioned. They cannot, for legal reasons, explain why this happened.
Every night, Buck leans over and reaches for Jeff's pocket ham and doesn't find it, and his heart breaks all over again.
Sure, you can put ham on the pillow next to him, but it's not warm.
But we left off on a cliffhanger, and the listeners are sitting here like they're fast forwarding, trying to get to, did Buck get eaten by?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we are watching a Mountain Monsters episode called, my favorite title yet, Cow Killing Bastard.
It's really good, yeah.
It's starting to just name them like Tarantino films, like Grindhouse movies. Previously on, they decided, actually, you know what? It's not about Bigfoot. It's about something else.
Right.
We don't know what it is. It's about something else. It drinks bones, and it makes really shitty Bigfoot-like things, but it's not a Bigfoot. And it had Buck and the cameraman cornered in a barn and was about to just tear them to shreds. And then they cut away abruptly. And so when they cut back, we have come back from our easily our highest stakes cliffhanger ever. And Buck he's got the thermal camera, which he said he didn't know how to use. And he has figured that out in between the episodes because he is now using it to watch something we can't see zip by between the slats of the boards of the barn outside, which I want to give him credit. It's a cool shot. I like a lot. I'm like, this is how you do that on a no budget because what you can see it if you like slow it down and watch. It's just one of the cows. It's one of the cows outside, but Buck is seeing it. It's got the camera on it from outside, so you can't see the shape, and it's great. Do more of that. Like you're sort of getting it. And speaking of sort of getting it, Buck turns around after establishing he's being hunted in this barn, and he goes, "Oh crap, there's a kitten." The highest stakes
Yep.
episode ever.
Hell
There
yeah.
is a very, very young, lone, abandoned kitten in the middle of the barn, mewing pathetically, so out of place that I thought for a second, oh my god, that's why it's a bastard. It's because it traps using kittens. Like it's exploiting, like you go for the kitten, it's going to eat you. But no. Buck runs over there. He picks up the kitten and he tells it, "You're in the wrong place, little buddy. We got to find a way, someplace to hide." So they're doing a full new aliens thing.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think? So you think the kitten they planted the kitten there that belonged to somebody in the crew, and this was planned, and that he did not just find a stray cat in a barn?
Maybe they found it and they put it there, but he knew it was going to be there, I think. Or it was put there by the cow-killing bastard to trap Buck.
Yeah, it could be a trap.
Either way, I think Buck just read Save the Cat. And so he's like literally doing Save the Cat. He's like, oh, I
He's
got to that
saving a
part
cat. Yeah.
Where you save the cat. Good enough.
Yeah.
I don't need to read the rest
And
of
again, Buck's plan to get in the barn was we got to move. And after the creature cornered him in the barn, his new plan is we got to move. Let's see if there's anywhere to hide in here. So he's taken the kitten from the cozy straw and into the arms of the violently shaking 400-pound maniac having a panic attack. Is he saving
Who was
the cat?
being hunted.
Yeah.
Look, it's a smart move. It works kind of like it does in Aliens, but I would say better because right now, like, what have they done? What have they done the last couple of seasons? Say it with me. Squander all of the good feelings we have towards the characters. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We don't give a fuck about them anymore.
It's true.
So now they're saying, oh, you don't give a fuck about us. Well, what about this tiny kitten?
I do like the cat. I think the kitten is a great character, a great addition to the show.
It's a great move. So now
I just don't think he's going to help it.
In the course of the scene, as they do more and more shouting and running around and climbing up ladders and stuff, the little kitten is clearly in some distress. And
it gets more and more panicked and scared.
Because obviously, I don't know if people know this about like felines, but they don't know what TV is.
Oh.
At least not until they get older.
Yeah. That's why it flubbed all its lines. Yeah. It kept calling.
It's supposed to be barking.
Like, it's not Bigfoot anymore. Bigfoot still need cow skulls on the rocks, you fucking idiot.
So Buck goes to hide with the little kitten, and then he looks over just seconds later, and he finds the door they came from. That door has been opened. So, like, the bone drinker maybe picked that lock and
I thought this
opened
was
the door.
a different door. Is it
Is
the
it a
same
different
door?
Maybe it's a different door. Either way, he has to venture out there with the kitten to close that door so that they can be safe.
But the door doesn't have a lock on it. And also they established previously that this creature can just knock down trees and do like in the previous episode, it had somehow was shaking the ground to the point that Buck could feel it a mile away. Because it canonically, they said that shortcut is a mile from the log. So it shook the ground hard enough that they felt it where they were and Buck felt it on the farm 1 mile away. Like, this thing is a force of nature. And he's like complaining that the little hook thing on the door is broken, so he can't close it. It's like, I don't think that would have mattered.
Yeah. I wrote down his quote. Again, he's forming a plan. He's saving this cat. He says, "It ain't secure. We got to find somewhere to go. Dude, we got to move. We got to do something." So again, his mind's firing. He's a veteran forming a perfect plan.
15 years of experience. He's going to save this cat.
He's got the same plan as like the first idiot girl to die in a horror movie. Like, just raw panic and like corner herself.
You act like you don't know what he's doing. It's all right there. It's in the Save the Cat How to Write Screenplay manual. You pick up the cat, you fucking panic and lose it.
Yeah.
Like that's the next page. Like it's all going according
You're right.
to plan.
It's all by the numbers.
So he picks up the cat and starts panicking, losing it. He's shaking the cat. He's running around with the cat. The cat is mewling frantically, just faster and faster, to where clearly the cat is also having a panic attack. They're feeding into each other. It's really great. he decides they have to go up in the loft, and then the cameraman really quick pans up to the loft, and you're thinking like, oh, like a barn. You're going to get up into that loft. You're going to be safe. It's, 15, 20 feet in the air. No, it's like 6 feet.
6 feet.
It's like one of those locks. That's about 6 feet in the air.
I know we're talking a lot about screenplay structure, but another thing that like helps raise the tension is when you cut to the character in the future giving a testimonial to the camera about, so there we were in the barn hiding from the creature. And then you cut back to I'm just saying, like, that really helps the audience be like, oh, what's going to happen to this guy?
But his instincts are correct, because you get up in that loft, you wait until the monster gets on the ladder, then you can kick the ladder, and then you can do a headshot on it, and then as the next one will try to put the ladder back, but you can just camp up there and get a bunch of headshots in a row. This is if you're playing in mercenaries mode on Resident Evil 4, not necessarily the main game.
Yeah, they will throw Molotovs at you. The designers thought of that, but there's ways around it.
What you do is, here's a better strategy. What you do is you get up there in the loft, right? And you wait until he's all the way at the top of the ladder, both hands on the ladder, and then you go think fast, you throw him the kitten. And like everybody's impulse is, oh shit, catch the kitten who's not holding the ladder anymore. That's right, chump. Down you go. Mm-hmm. Flawless strategy. So he goes up there to hide.
I knew you weren't the type to eat pussy. As he falls down, really good. You get that line.
I'll write that down. They go up into the loft again, shown to be like 6 feet high, and these are the things he saves. Buck saves in order: himself, the cat, the thermal camera, the regular camera, the cameraman. He jumps up in the loft and he says, "Hand me the cat, hand me the thermal camera, hand me the camera, and then you get up here."
You're allowed to go up.
So he grabs a pitchfork and they kill their lights, and then they improv that it's now underneath them in the barn. It's underneath the floor, which again, according to Jason's theory, it all checks out. This thing is under 5 feet tall.
Yeah, it's tiny.
It's a short king for sure.
He's a short king. Hold on, it says Buck has the cunning and body fat percentage of a butter sculpture. So I'm just reading what it says in my notes. I just wanted I didn't want
to. Buck is now giving a speech that says he's going to heroically sacrifice himself so the cameraman can get away.
Sure.
Which, the cameraman can't be buying that after being the last thing allowed up in the loft after his camera. After my camera.
He would throw the cameraman and the cat's lives away for one more bite of SpaghettiOs. We know that about Buck.
What Buck says is, to the cameraman, it says, "I'll give you everything I got to give you a chance to run." Because he's got the pitchfork. He's going to fight it with this pitchfork. He's like, but this ain't going to be good.
Yeah, he says basically one of us is not making it out of here alive. And I guess he just checks their stat sheet real quick and is like, whoops, it's me. Oh, no.
I got the speed of -7. Fuck.
So outside, Willie and Jeff are there. They're coming to back up Buck, and they hear something on top of one of the metal silos they have at this farm. And then Willie does a testimonial, cuts away to Willie a testimonial. And he says, well, that could just be the metal flexing. Could be a piece of loose tin.
I think they're haunted by creatures that make one loud bonk and then escape with no other sound. I think that's what they're dealing with.
Well, we know it's not the cow-killing bastard, which I'm just taking that title from the title of the episode. I assume somebody is fighting something called the cow-killing bastard because it's obviously in the barn with Buck. It's under his feet. So it can't be that. Is it a second creature? Oh, I'll find out. But whatever it is, it's up there right now. It's clinging around up there.
Could be a real adventurous cow. It could be all sorts of things.
This is a barn
I just
for
think
cows.
It's very funny to play the skeptic in this scene yourself in the future. I'm the skeptic looking back on the scene of the reflection going, that could have been just like a piece of tin. And then it cuts back to you going, oh my God, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, it cuts back to you finding a bunch of Bigfoot blood. And then you in the future go, it could have been just the barn bleeding.
Take a drink because Willie's going to climb up there and he's going to say to Jeff, cover me. And Jeff is going to point the shotgun right at him and say, if you see something, just hug that ladder. I'll make sure with my double barrels of double-aught buck, I'll make sure to hit it, shoot it off you.
Yeah.
I'll shoot right past you. You're climbing up a ladder. I will make sure, hug the ladder so that my buckshot can go past the back of your skull and kill the monster coming down the ladder. That's our plan.
Well, if it goes through his colon and out the top of his head, it will like at +4 disease damage. Because
he's gonna blow him in half ass first. So like, now remember, if anything goes wrong, I want you to just nuke me, just obliterate me from this planet as fast as you can. I will not die to a Bigfoot. Back in the barn, Buck is he's doing a full-blown panic attack acting. I think he's supposed to be, I don't know, trying to play brave but scared, but it doesn't come across as anything except for a man having a panic attack with a kitten. Which is it's not the heroic image he wants to portray. He's got that pitchfork and he's making out like he's so ready. He's so ready to like stab anything that comes up that ladder. And then a shape starts coming up the ladder and Buck screams and charges it with the pitchfork. And then it's Wild Bill, and Wild Bill goes, "So bitch!" And I know they've constructed this scene themselves. I think it would be extremely funny if the first fatality that happens after all the gun safety shit we've given them is by pitchfork.
Yeah.
Like that would have been...
What a way to die when you were laying there on the floor knowing that Buck is going to have to explain to the cops how you died and why he was up there. Like, no, I thought it was the cow-killing bastard coming up the ladder. I thought it was a ladder climbing Bigfoot of some kind.
But like between the two scenes, right, we've already had Willie cut away to his future self going, it's probably nothing. They're all panicking, and they're all panicking over what turns out to be nothing. What turns out to be not an actual present threat. Which I don't think when they constructed these scenes, that was what they were going for.
I want to point out that the only time the Ames team is ever quiet is when they sneak up on each other. Right? Like when they're hunting a Bigfoot, they're like, "Hey, let's go over here. You take that." And I'm like, "Oh, I tripped. I fell. Fuck." But like, if Wild Bill really heard something in the loft, he'd be screaming like, "There's something up there that loft sound like poops on an elephant penis." You know, whatever the fuck he's going to say. And then it would have a testimonial of him in the future being, "I had to find out I was up into making that penis sounds in the loft." And like, and then he would say all this, and then the person in the loft would hear him. But like, that's just not how it works. If it's them, the guy can be 2 feet into the cave. They're like, "Willie, Willie," and Willie can't hear them because he's 2 feet into the cave. And here they are climbing up a loft, and they're both doing perfect stealth missions. Can't hear each other. It's stupid. I get the rules now. I'm very frustrated by them.
Of all the characters to have that be, Wild Bill is the one that could not be silent for that long.
Yeah.
Like it's implausible with any of them. They picked the exact wrong guy to like, "Oh, okay, you were, of course I didn't know it was you. You were as silent as the night itself." Wild Bill.
I would have to go back and watch the scene, but I seem to remember that at least one of them wasn't pulling off a perfect stealth mission, because I think it was Buck who went, "Here I go," as he charged with the pitchfork.
And he was saying a lot of human words.
Seems like, Wild Bill should have heard that and said, "Hey, it's me. Don't stick me. I hear you say the phrase, 'I'm going to stick him, run for it.' I'm telling you, that's not necessary. It's just me, your friend, Wild Bill." And instead, it just continues to silently climb up in the pitch dark barn. Like, I wonder what that's about. He says he's going to stick whatever climbs up the ladder. I'm going to go up there and see what happens.
So silently.
Last words, "I hope nothing sticks me."
No, he only thinks that to himself. He doesn't dare speak that out loud.
So Wild Bill, he sees Buck holding the kitten, and Buck says, "Usually when I get scared, I pet Jeff's beard, but this kitten is softer, and it smells better." And like, okay, I get that you're setting this up to be your standard joke at Jeff's expense, but I'm begging you, please examine the setup part of your punchline just once. Just think about that part.
Yeah, like I get you were prepared to die, but you didn't, which means you now have to live with the things you've done and said.
It can be at Jeff's expense, but then it's also you pet Jeff's beard.
Yeah, what was that? I get that you don't, but why did you say it?
What is the implication where you're supposed to?
What is the fiction of the joke you're telling?
Yes.
Yeah. So outside, Willie is out there. He's on top of the silo. He spots blood. So everyone, Wild Bill, Buck, Huckleberry, the kitten still, for some reason, all come running to check this out. They all meet up, and Willie freezes in, like, abject terror. Like deer in a spotlight. He just freezes, and he goes, "Whoa, what the hell you got there in your hands, Buck?" And Buck says, "It's a kitty."
Bit done. Great
Willie,
bit.
Willie, hold on. Willie's a sleepwalker? What the fuck was that acting choice?
Yeah, it was too big. It was very strange.
What, I don't understand the bit. If the bit was like, this is confusing, or I didn't expect him to hold that. Why was just abject terror, like pure horror? He reacts to it. Possibly to escape the kitten, Willie starts climbing the bloody silo, and atop it he finds cow afterbirth.
Yeah.
Not the first time they've found that on this show.
So when he recognized it, I'm like, yep, that's a man who would know. He wouldn't know what a cat looks like, but he would be able to recognize cow after birth.
What the fuck is that? That's almost like some sort of living cow after birth that you're holding?
He's
like a
playing
small
it-
cat-shaped?
I don't think I'm wrong to say he's playing it really sexually. Like he holds it up and he says, "That sure is nice looking afterbirth." That's a real quote. And he's kind of like licking his lips and like looking at it. And maybe he's hungrily like looking at the afterbirth, but he doesn't take a bite. That's why I think it's more of a sex thing than a hunger thing.
Willie's making some wild acting choices.
Yes.
I think this far into the series and having like this little happen episode to episode, Willie just as a thespian has become creatively bored. And so he's doing that Nick Cage shit. He's on that
Yeah,
Nick Cage shit. He's
doing
like,
Nick Cage shit.
I'm gonna entertain myself if nobody else is gonna do it.
Yeah, he's on the stuff that Nick Cage does sometimes. I don't know if it's libelous to imply that these men are on substances. Willie he's not acting the way he normally does in this episode. He's acting weird. And to me, it doesn't feel like an acting choice. It feels like, I don't know.
Side effect.
Well, you also got to take into account this is still lockdown era. Like late. We're getting to late lockdown era, but I'm just saying people didn't come out of lockdown the same.
True.
So like
We were talking about Nick Cage. This whole time I've been distracted because I was trying to think who the best co-star in a face-off would be if Willie was playing a Nick Cage. I think it's Wild Bill. I think a Wild Bill Willie face-off movie that's the way to
where
go.
they get to pretend to be each other. I would love to see Wild Bill's take on Willie, like Wild Bill's Willie impression. I mean, everybody's got a Wild Bill impression. That's an easy one. We've all got a Wild Bill impression, but like, what does Wild Bill think a normal guy, a normalish guy is like?
Yeah, because we've seen his Elvis impression,
Yeah.
and he only knows to do it as just normal person.
Yeah.
Thank
He said,
you. Thank you
you
very
very
much.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you a lot. My
I
name's
do
Elvis.
worry that the listeners are getting frustrated here because we were describing a scene where the monster was lurking 5 feet away from Buck, and then now we're describing them doing cow afterbirth goofing. So I think the listeners like, well, where did the monster, the head hunting monster, go?
That's a good question.
It carefully arranged the butcher shop scraps into the shape of a cow, put some afterbirth on the silo, and then left without a trace.
But was there a scene where they're like, oh, we hear it way off in the distance. We saw it run away, or I caught it on thermal. It took off, or we scared it off. I don't have that in my notes. It to me, they just started doing afterbirth goofing, and Again, they have arrived and they have encountered the monster, and so obviously, the next Buck is eager to call the whole thing off and to go back to the hotel, but
that's what Willie was reacting to when Willie was out there and Buck walked up holding something. Willie was like, "Oh my God, are we pretending that's the monster?"
He was like,
That's probably it.
Yeah, it can assume the
what
form
the hell
of
you got there?
But yeah, I guess that's what happened. Is they all left? They're like,
well, what Buck says
We
is
should go home. The
he's
monster's
learned
here.
something, but he doesn't. He's like, there's some things I need to run by you guys tomorrow. And
Right.
I've got to be frank. If I was out there, in real life, I'd just be like, no, you're gonna just tell me now. I'm not gonna there's no reason. But I get it. They know they're in a TV show, so it's fine.
After this commercial break, like, just give it a wink. Give it a wink at the camera. We know what you're doing. And they do. So that was where their commercial break would be. We come back the next day. Buck still hasn't told them. He's reconvened the team and still hasn't told them. So you got to imagine the whole car right out here. They're like, "Hey, Buck, what was the monster that nearly killed us all last night?" And he's just going the whole time, "We'll see. We'll see." He leads them all the way back to the barn where he encountered the monster. And you're like, oh, there's got to be some clue in this barn where he's like, here, this is why I think that. And I had to bring you guys here because you wouldn't believe me unless you saw this. So they enter the barn and he just tells them. No, it's not. There's no reason.
There's no reason he had to come back to the barn where he was cowering the night before. And they begin by doing some goofing on Jeff's beard. It's
Some
like
beard goofing.
his beard is crooked, and it's the kind of thing that, again, they 100% did not think was going in the show. They were just like screwing around, like, Jeff, your beard's all weird. You look like a wizard or something, haha. But it's like they were setting up to do the scene, and the editors is like, man, we've got 13 minutes of stuff here. This show has got to be 44 minutes long. That beard stuff's got to go in. I may have to play it twice.
well, it did make Colt laugh. They made producer Colt Straub laugh.
Yeah, they cut to him laughing at the beard goof.
Just cracking the fuck up, doing such quality beard jokes that he's about to fucking die from
Huck
it.
said that it was maybe pubic hair. The beard was maybe pubic hair. And Colt's like, oh, that's my weakness.
Long pubic hair.
Do you think Colt gets off too easy in this podcast in terms of the creative choices the show makes? Because so often we would blame Trapper, we blame Buck, we blame the improv, but I feel like ultimately Colt's the one who could step in and say,
I think it's the editor. Whoever edits this gets the full both barrels of blame. Because if you edit this all down to one 45-minute episode, like the whole show, it'd be pretty good.
the whole season, you mean? The whole 10 episodes? Yeah.
Yeah, whole thing. No, I mean the whole show, all the seasons,
Like 6,
the whole
8 seasons? Yeah.
Yeah, like the 8 straight seasons, 80 hours of television. If you put this all in about 45 minutes,
Okay.
baby, that's a pretty good show. I think you wouldn't be bored.
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of Buck has to explain microphones for a while. This scene drags out so long where Buck's like, you know how we wear microphones? Those capture audio, right? Remember in 2013, we had a show where we fought monsters and we had audio on that show. And this takes so long for him to talk about isolating the audio. Like way longer than you'd think, way longer than I'm taking. And they're talking like what a great idea it was for you to check to see if the sounds from a different show matched up with the sounds we heard from this show.
They're playing it like a CSI bit.
Yeah.
Like I've thought of and he uses the phrase isolate the audio.
Isolate the audio.
Whereas like on TV, that would be like there's a train in the distance and you could hear it if you isolate the audio from this phone call, but we're going to have to like eliminate all the other noise. What he means is pull the clip.
Pull the clip. Yeah.
So,
And
and again, because of the way they do their monster audio, and it's just generic sound effect, he grabs from episode 8, The Grafton Monster, 2013, when they were interviewing the witness Doc, and they had the generic, and they're like, now listen to the clip from last night. And it's not just similar or the same animal. It's the same clip,
same fucking
at the same volume, mixed the same. It is so apparent that it's just from their Halloween sound effects DVD that they've been using for a decade straight.
And Buck caps that off. He plays the clip twice. They all listen to it, and then he says, "You tell me, those two sound alike."
They look like they saw a ghost. But yeah, the editor used the same spooky growl dot wave again. They're lampshading it, is my point, in a show where that's the last thing you want to do.
So, for the listeners who do not have a mental catalog of every single creature these guys have fought, let me remind you, because I had to go back and watch the freaking Grafton Monster episode, because I thought the Grafton Monster was a Bigfoot. Did you guys not think that
it's a Bigfoot? It's a type of Bigfoot.
The Ohio Grassman, is the Ohio Grassman a Bigfoot? Like the taxonomy, all of these, they've all got different names, but it's a humanoid. So the Grafton Monster, according to the truck briefing for that episode, I admit I did not watch the whole episode. Jeff said he was between 1,000 and 1,500 pounds, a wide range. We made this joke in the episode. 78 feet tall. So he's shrank quite a bit. Again, maybe due to COVID. That was the episode where they discovered he had been eating corn out of a deer feeder, because they had that guy who was like clearly illegally drawing in. And then they found a farmer who they found afterbirth in the pasture, and they had the theory that the Grafton Monster waits for cows to give birth, and he basically does a post-birth abortion. He sprints in, grabs the cow, feeds the freshly birthed cow, and sprints off with it under its arm like a football.
Like a Democrat.
So in their trap, they put cow afterbirth as the bait, old rotten afterbirth, because the thinking was, if this thing likes to eat fresh baby cows, then what would attract it more than the discarded, rotten, filthy afterbirth? They got to the trap. It took the afterbirth out and left it had beheaded a deer or something and left it on top of the trap. And the trapper said, "That son of a bitch outsmarted us." Now, the important part is they did their failure huddle and were interrupted by the sound of it growling just right over there. And they decided, no, it's all the way on the other side of the hill. It might as well be on the moon. This is over. And the last words of the episode were Huckleberry saying, "The people of Grafton, Pennsylvania need to be worried." Drive off into the distance, credits.
We leave them to their fate.
We leave them to the fate. 9 years later, we're back, not in Grafton to finish. We're 50 miles away. And that thing that we failed to catch and has presumably killed everyone in Grafton.
Imagine the townspeople who have been like, if you watch these guys come up, anger the monster and teach it that man is no threat, and then drive off and be like, well, you guys should all be worried. They come back 9 years later and you're like, fucking finally, Jesus Christ, I can't believe you left it that long. And they're like, what is this thing?
God damn it.
What are we even hunting? Are you fucking kidding me?
By the creatures, because if its favorite food is afterbirth, this was probably more of a gift than some sort of terrible thing. Oh, hi, little intruder. 1 second.
This is like that BBC News clip where the guy was giving the interview on Korea and the toddler comes walking in.
Exactly.
And interrupts it on live TV. It's exactly the same gravity. And in fact, when because Buck is reminding the team of that episode, and then Jeff says, he improvises, well, that witness, Doc, it scared him so bad, he actually isn't in Grafton anymore. He's moved to Florida.
Yeah.
He was driven off his own land because the Ames team failed to catch the Grafton monster. The land that his family had worked for generations in their own lore. He had to flee to another state because they just left. And he presumably, like that next morning, was like, man, eager to see what those guys discovered last night. And they just found the campsite is completely vacant. just golf cart tracks heading off into the distance.
The best.
And then they come back 9 years later and start another investigation into what this might be. And like, just, you would string them up. It should be just an angry crowd of villagers with pitchforks driving in pickup trucks. Like, we've been waiting for this fucking day.
Buck does a thing here that I don't think he's done before. It cracked me up because he says, all right, this is the Grafton Monster's bedroom here. We're like in his territory. So you guys go get the Grafton Monster. I got to get to work. I don't think he's ever done that before. But so far this season, Buck has called off 2 hunts right when they're next to the creature. Then he cowered in a barn, and then he told everyone to go hunt the monster without him while he left for work.
That was his reaction to finding out that they are being confronted with their own failure from a decade ago and now have a chance to redeem themselves after having literally said into a camera, man, people in Grafton, this sucks for you. I would not want to live here with this thing. Bye.
Bye.
And it's like, all right, up. You guys go catch that thing. I'm going to work. Because that meeting was all they did.
That's it.
Yeah.
Could have been an email.
He could have sent him last night. It could have been an email. And their plan is just to go back to the things they already found and look at them again. Like,
yep.
They should
start their day investigation. They head off from that.
They should consider gathering evidence when they find things. I think it really cut down on their travel time.
So I guess they're going to look for clues. Like, they go back to the
right.
Remember the things
Rocks
that they
and sticks and
found
shit.
were a bunch of sticks arranged in a teepee, but not quite. It's like a Bigfoot, but then it sucks because he just can't pull it off. And then a rock stack with a cow skull. And their idea is to head back there and I guess look for clues. And along the way, it's Willie. It's Willie who finds the Bigfoot sign first, and he comes up and he says. And Jeff says, "Oh, this must be where he bedded down."
Sure.
And then he says, "Hold on, did you guys smell that?" And Huckleberry says, "I know that smell. That's death." And that would be a really cool place to cut out from that scene. Mm-hmm. Except Jeff says, you just gave me chills when you said that right now.
That's real spooky.
And then Willie says, "Well, count me down for 2 of us."
But here's the thing. In the improv, Jeff says, you smell that. He's trying to lead to, oh, this clearly smells like the Grafton monster, like something to advance their knowledge so they're not just jerking off in the woods waiting for Buck to get off work. And instead of going with the yes and, oh, yeah, advancing the investigation, Huckleberry goes right for the trailer sizzle reel line. Mm-hmm. I know that smell. That's death, which is nothing. Why would its bed smell like death? It's just an animal that eats other animals. It's not, you've not established that it does crime. I know I say this in every single episode, but the only thing it's done is left a cow afterbirth behind, and it has been eating cows and eating the bones of cows, I guess. I guess they've now said that retroactively, this is the one that's been doing. Like in the previous season, which of the crimes were Smoke Wolf crimes? Were they all actually this thing?
Definitely.
Was this the thing shaking the chains? Because we determined that actually we forgot it's not the speakers.
Did they ever catch Spearfinger? I feel like Spearfinger's still out there on the loose.
What happened to the 8 rogue teams? What happened?
Oh, no. See, that's the problem. Once they start treating season 1 as canon, it's like, well, is all of it back?
Yeah,
all of it's
you
back.
gotta say, this is no longer a reboot. All that's happened.
Yeah, I have that. I noticed that this episode pretty much establishes that all of it's back. If they're going back to 2013 and they can pull the audio and that counts as like existing in their universe, all of it's back.
That means it all happened.
They
and
fought
right
the
now
pterodactyls, that fucking monster that drank the blood. The alien from Alien, the Predator from Predator.
There's fucking 8 different rogue teams out there watching this right now going, what are you doing? What are you doing? Look in the puzzle box. Just look in the puzzle. I gave you a puzzle box.
That means anything can be Ravenmacher. That might be why Willie's acting weird. Holy shit!
If I was Willie, I think he's qualified enough to just join the rogue team, right? Join one of those rogue teams. They need a trap builder. Just pivot to trapping the Ames team. It's right there. So Jeff points out that, oh my God, if you lay down like you're this headless monster, and then you put your fist here in the divot to support yourself, because again, you don't have a neck. And this is the Grafton monster. This was its identifying feature, was that its head
It's
was
like
just
hunched over, right?
Yeah, they called it the headless horror because it looked like it didn't have a head because it's so hunched over, it doesn't have a neck, and it's just like shoulders. So Jeff's like, okay, imagine you're this weird necklace creature. This is how you would have to lean down to like hunt us. You would have to like bend down like this. My God, it was watching us the whole time. It was an ambush. And I just think it's very, very funny to me, the idea of an ambush predator that can't move its head.
Yes.
Like Ram Man is a threat for sure, but it's not because of his stealth.
And also, this thing doesn't need to hunt with stealth. Everything they've established about it, it would do it the way I play stealth games, where I just go in guns blazing. It's like that. You caught me.
AoE,
I have a rocket launcher.
Yeah, remember, it's 1,500 pounds and 8 feet tall, and they're like, my God. And it can't move its neck.
It was hiding from us. Why? Is it shy? Did not want to be on TV.
So they arrive.
No, hold on. There's a part here that pissed me off because they decided it's an ambush spot, right? So they're like, oh, the Grafton monster's stalking us. And Huckleberry says, we didn't know it at the time, but that son of a bitch was 40 yards away stalking us. I'm like, no, dude, you stopped the whole show to tell everyone you were looking right at it.
This is the spot. But he's forgotten about that now. So they arrive back at the really clumsy Bigfoot teepee.
It was the monster he stared at in the woods yesterday.
Imagine if like the movie Predator played like this, where like Billy stares off into the woods, has this stare down, and then they cut to the next day, the scene, and he's like, what the fuck? Something was out here last
What are you guys
night.
talking about? Dude, we're talking about the dead bodies we found hung up. And you guys, holy shit. Hey, my name's Billy. Who are you guys? Nice to meet you.
I think there might be something out here. Do you guys ever get that sense? So they arrive at the big clumsy teepee that he built. Only now it makes sense, right? Now we've gotten the answer to our question. Why does the teepee suck? Why is it all leaned up against the tree? And it's because he doesn't have a neck. Every time he puts the sticks together, he has to just walk backwards until he can see the top. They're like, it's just too frustrating. He can't do it. And hold on, why does he build the rock stack and put the skull on top? He hates things with necks, so he takes the skulls. Full environmental storytelling.
Yeah, no, you're
like
good.
Straight
you're
out
right.
of Fallout, man.
Yeah,
it's
that's
good.
some Fallout storytelling. This has gotten
It's
the
good
tree
stuff.
structure has gotten bigger because I think he's like earned more sticks because of the cow he ate. I think that he's like leveled up a bit.
Real quick, why is that terrifying? Because they react to it like it's the scariest fucking thing that could have happened.
No,
they say,
the fuck
"Oh my
they
God."
do. Willie spends 40 minutes identifying each tree and look, this is a nice maple. This is a good fir. Look at this fir. They're
And
in the
all of them
lair
are
of the
scary.
creature. And they do
And
a
then
lot.
they turn and they see three. It has built 3 additional rock piles, and immediately my thought was, "Oh my God, those 3 rock piles. You're 3 people. Those are spots for your heads.
Uh-huh.
Your heads are going on their necks." They never make that
No, they
connection.
don't
They're just
connect
like,
it.
"My God, why would there be more?"
In fact, Jeff fucks it all up. He says, "This looks like Bigfoot sign to me." And Huckleberry agrees. Huckleberry's like, "Yep, we're playing Bigfoot. Fuck Buck's dumb grafted monster thing. He's not even here." No, Willie finds a dog collar and says, "You know what, guys? I think we might still be playing Ghost Dog." And no,
Willie thinks.
hold on.
Willie thinks he has the trailer
says,
line.
"No, we're leaving." Huckleberry says, "We're not playing anything," and they go. That's the sequence of events, according to my notes.
Before Willie gets the trailer line, Willie says, "One thing's for sure, Tigard Valley ain't looking too good for dogs." This might be a scary place to be a dog.
It's true. Or a cow. Or buck. Kittens are in a lot of danger, apparently.
Just babies. And Huckleberry says, Huckleberry tries to rescue him. He tries to get the trailer line on the button on this scene. And he says, "This mystery here in the Tigard Valley, it's just like pea soup. It keeps getting thicker and thicker." And then they just leave, having failed multiple cool lines in a row. Like they all just rotate up to the camera, try to say something cool, and go, "Fuck, that wasn't it."
They're all very confused with no sense of drama.
Well, I like his investigation method where the puzzle becomes less clear over time. Because that is true. It's like, yes, we know less and less, like pea soup. It's just getting more and more. You can see less through it. It's more obscure now. It's more opaque than ever.
Right.
Like, yeah, you're working backward. By the time you're done, you will know nothing.
And so they reconvene. They reconvene later, and they meet up with a witness. They've decided now they need a witness. Halfway through the second episode in this season, and this is Terry, and Terry fucking rules.
Yeah,
Terry's got
great.
like a little army cap, hippie sunglasses. He's fully channeling that earlier witness they talked to, Doc, where he's got the like goofy old prospector voice and the wizard stick. It's like they reviewed the footage and were like, "Oh yeah, Doc.
We should do that again." Yeah,
Doc kicked ass.
We got to get another Doc. He really elevates like all of it because he. Right off the bat is joining in their gay stuff. He's like, "Yeah, Huckleberry, you're not as purty as Wild Bill." He's like totally in on it. When they start doing semen drinking jokes, he's like, "Fuck yeah, I'm riffing with you guys on the semen drinking."
They do. This is weird because for one thing, Wild Bill is in on the interview, which always is a catastrophe. So immediately he's like, one jarhead to another. I don't even remember them establishing that they were both in the Marines.
Well, he said "Hoorah."
But
yeah.
okay.
So Terry identified him as a Marine.
And so they get into this bit where Huckleberry, the guy's talking about, like, I got 150 head of cattle, whatever, got 500 acres, all that farm stuff. And Huckleberry's like, "Man, I don't even know if I can milk a cow anymore." And Terry, "Now I got that new fancy milking machine that does all the work." And Buck, "Old Jeff, he likes to milk the bulls." And you think, okay, we've all heard if you've known any farmers, the joke about milking a bull. It's like they all laugh. Terry, I can tell. And said, I can tell by looking at Jeff that he likes to jerk off cows. A man he has just met for the first time.
You're not part of that friend group. Don't say that.
He can smell the victim in the group, though. He's like, "Okay, I'm siding with the bully."
But now it's like, oh, this is now what we're talking about. Not the thing that's killing my cattle and that is terrorizing. It's like, now you're not going to get a lot of milk out of a bull, and it's awfully salty. Huckleberry is still going. I have in my notes, still going in all caps in red. Huckleberry, I thought we came to talk about a creature, not bull semen, which ruins the whole thing. Is you're talking around this. That's the whole point of the joke. Willie to Jeff, "Well, on your behalf, bull semen is worth a lot more per gallon than milk is."
Yeah.
Buck, "But how do you get a whole gallon of bull semen?" Terry, again, who should not be a part of this at all. He is a stranger. "That depends on how long your arm will hold up."
What the fuck? It is
still going.
We are
17
30.
solid minutes of semen riffing.
So many escalations deep into a conversation that started off about jerking a cow, and now they're like drinking the semen and selling it by the gallon. And I think this is why you need women in your life. Like, a woman would have known to cut the bit before you opened your hand-jerked artisanal bullcum business. Like, that's too far into the bit if you're, like, working out the economics of the bull jizz.
Before you start, I think it's before you start physically pantomiming jerking off the bull,
Right.
Which Terry does there at the end.
Yeah.
I think your good taste would dictate.
But
Oh my God, I just got what they're doing.
I think it was Terry
I just
who
understood
stopped
what
it.
they're doing.
Wait, what are they doing?
They're making more cum jokes than us. They figured that out. They knew what we were doing.
They're cum-mogging us.
Yep, it's cum mogging. We got mogged.
We
got jizz mogged.
We got jizz mogged again. Terry was the one that actually got. I'll be the Terry here because he's the one that got them back on track. These guys who came here with a show about hunting a Grafton monster and turned it into a bull semen, like
It was so long and so weird. And at Buck, actually, at some point, I paused it here to just walk away and reflect on my life. Mm-hmm. And my wife walked by and looked at it and went, just on your screen, it's such like a distillation of mountain monsters that it's just the subtitles were Buck saying, I forget why we're even here.
Yep. Terry remembered, though, in the middle of all the jizz, he just stops and says, like, I found a head.
Yeah.
Well, now see here,
the way Terry delivers it is this. Whoop, found a head.
because I guess
about.
in the previous episode back in season 1, that was its MO. It was ripping. They had found like at the head of a deer or something, and they had decided, oh, this thing decapitates animals. That was that's its MO. So but the problem is, up to this point, yeah, they found a gift shop skull, but none of the going back again. They are retconning this creature into last season. Did they find a single headless creature or creature head prior to now? They found stuff that was skinless. They found stuff that had been left nothing but bones behind, but
Shark's
all the bones.
bones.
Remember, it was their trash bag full of bones. Which, by the way, when I went back, found out that trash bag full of bones. Episode 1 is where that appears.
Wow.
That was in the pilot.
Amazing.
But so now they're trying to introduce this, but it's like, okay, but last night you had him find an afterbirth. Like you can't introduce the head thing now.
Right. Well, Buck asks a good question. He says, what can be out here that could be ripping the head off of a cow? And like, they know, we just talked about that. And he's not asking it rhetorically, like he's really confused. It sounds like he might be asking it rhetorically. No, he's forgotten already. Willie stops and says, 2013, just think about it. So he didn't take it as a rhetorical question either. He's helping Buck remember that he is a monster hunter and they're doing it right now. He's at work right now hunting the monster that rips off heads.
You can do it, baby. Just give it a little thought. What happened in 2013?
This is actually when I realized, it says in my notes, like, holy shit. So those other seasons are canon. Like, it's here where I just noticed, like, oh my God, they're undoing their reboot. They're retconning the reboot.
They fucked up their reboot.
I didn't even notice until this point in the episode.
They ran out of monsters to invent. Like, well, we got to reuse the old monsters, but we can't pretend like we've never seen it before. So like, well, what's one? Because the Grafton Monsters one they didn't come back to. That was a one-off from season 1. So it's like, well, we never did Grafton Monster again. But they actually have Terry do an interview to camera because he's one of those witnesses that has the charisma to do the to camera stuff, and he says, well, I don't want to be the next one to get my head ripped off from this thing.
Yeah, he's scared. Personal stakes.
There's your stakes. If they don't catch the Grafton Monster this time, this guy, Wacky Farmer Terry, will get his head ripped off. They surely cannot simply drive away again at the end of the season saying, well, now it's this town. I wouldn't want to live in the Tiger Valley with this freaking thing living there. Bye.
Also, Terry's been on screen for, I don't know, 30 seconds. And no, it's been 17 minutes, but it's all been about bull semen.
Right.
The non-bull semen parts that he's been on is about 30 seconds, and I immediately like Terry so much more than everybody else in this show.
Yeah.
Like
I don't want to see his head ripped off either.
Yeah. Like I'm rooting for Terry against all the rest of the Ames team. If it takes all the rest of the Ames team just getting their heads ripped off one by one, right after another, and then it stops before getting to Terry, I will be happy.
Also, I'll spoil it right now. When Jeff does his end of the reboot, he brings back Terry for Monster Mondays.
Excellent.
Because he recognized, this guy's got
Star
it.
talent.
Yep.
Put him on the team, baby.
But
Put him on the team.
Speaking of being good, he like rips off his sunglasses so everyone can look him in the eyes and see that he's not lying. And he tells them that he caught the Grafton monster on video. And I'm really glad they are back to doing this, because this is like a full, like, terrible CGI video of like this creature leaving. And what's funny about this is they go so big. Like, this thing is a 17 shack-sized monster. It is like,
it's taller than the barn.
It's taller than the barn. It is
because it's farther back.
Yes.
Like they got the perspective
right. They fucked it up so bad. This thing is, you would look at that and be like, I mean, we can't take this. Like if you would count the number of, if the guns they have, if they emptied all of them directly into this thing's head, they shouldn't expect it to die. This thing is huge. And also it could not hide from civilization. The tracks this thing would be leaving would be beyond elephant sized. With every step it took all day long. The trail of destruction could be followed by anyone. They have a drone camera. They're going to see this thing.
Also, this guy had this video in his pocket the whole time.
The whole time.
Probably should have led with that instead of all of the bull cum stuff.
You got to get the bull semen out of the
and
way
then
first.
leading from the bull cum to, one time I saw a cow. It had been eaten off.
Yep.
That's pretty weird, right? Oh, also, on top of all that, I do have video of the thing you've been fighting.
Unmistakable.
I did capture a kaiju on video.
Yeah. There's nothing else it could be. This isn't like a shadow. This is a fucking troll from Lord of the Rings just walking past his barn 30 feet high.
It's like they just remembered that they can do primitive special effects. They haven't even tried to do this for so long. They've literally just been doing the thing where they show us an empty frame of film and are like, it's right there. And they hope that like gaslighting will take effect and the audience will be like, well, it must be something there. I miss when they tried, and it's been so long since they tried. Like, remember that adorable lizard that they like superimposed in the woods? You're like, that was hilarious. That was great. Do that. You could have been doing that this whole time.
So here they're going to do my favorite thing where they, for whatever reason, I guess they didn't want to travel to another location, or I just get the sense with this season and last season too, they're just very restricted on where they're allowed to shoot. Because they say, well, can we go over to where you saw it? And in previous seasons, that would mean let's get in a golf cart and drive down to that well or drive down to that creek where you saw it. Where in this case, it's like 20 feet away. And Terry is like, well, you can go over there, but I'm not. You're on your own. I'm not going over. I'm not going out there where that thing is. But the out there where that thing is just among where all of his tractors and stuff are parked. Like, it's just because people are probably picturing this wrong. They're not pointing way down at the other end of a field, like at the end of there's like a ridge line. They're pointing like they could just take 10 steps and they would be at the spot. And his fence is like, it's not an old abandoned barn. It's the barn where all of his stuff is. Like his truck and everything is parked over there. And I'm like, I don't go over there. It's like yeah, that corner of my yard, I can't use that lawnmower. I just can't, the Grafton monster could be over there. This 30-foot tall kaiju could be over there. It's like, it's not there right now. But it's that thing where I called out last season where they have things on the page made sense, but don't make sense for the setting they actually have. Right. Where it's like, well, there's this part of my land I don't go on to, but on the day they didn't have that So it's like, well, no, it's just he was over there next to the barn right there where we're standing, and I don't walk over there. This where I'm standing right now, this is as close as I get to it. I
Which again is like about 100 feet. Like, like that thing, if that thing was real, that would be close enough that you would already be dead. Like if it wanted you dead.
Right. And
They do another very strange thing here where they do head over there, right? And then Buck decides we need to get a scale comparison, which is, it's not that weird for them. They do this all the time. Normally they use a huckleberry. That's their default unit of measurement for a monster.
They don't use a tape measure. The tape measure's just for measuring shoes.
Yes. They do have one, but it touched Huckleberry's feet. It had to go. I had to burn
Throw
it.
that away.
So he walks over to a fence post, and then he gets right next to the fence post, and then he sees like that's about at his eye level, and he proudly declares, "This fence post is taller than me." What the fuck why would you be visibly wrong like that? Like he walks up to it, stands directly next to it so that you could see, and he proudly declares that it's taller than him. And then he says, so you could only imagine how much bigger that thing was.
Or you could look at the video.
Or you could like he doesn't even do their scale experiment. He's just like, me and this fence post are the same size. So if something was bigger than that, that's pretty good, right? What the fuck does that do? That does nothing.
I think they're as confused as we are.
It's one of the laziest things I've ever seen them do.
Like no one gets to ask questions to zero in on its height because they hear it. It's like they're bellowing, like down the field. And Willie's like, "Hey, let's go look at the monster." I don't remember what happened next, though. Obviously, they probably went down and fought the monster, right?
Once again, it's Buck who says, "Hold on, you guys. We're going way too fast with this monster hunting business. Let's back away. Let's get our guns and our lights, and then we'll come back and hunt it." And then it jump cuts to them in the forest hunting it. Like, what? What was that for? Why did we do that?
Meanwhile, I guess that whole time Terry just went hid in his basement, or flew to Florida.
Yeah, he flew to Florida.
Like, imagine if you're Terry and you hear that scream. Like those guys go around the corner. They're the monster hunters here. You've been terrorized by this crafted monster. They hunted it before and enraged it, and you're like, at least they're finally coming to make it right. They go around that corner and you hear that scream. And you're like, oh fuck, it's on now. They just come right back around that corner and leave, and you're like, excuse me? Hold on. Excuse me, we're friends. We joked, we did the bull semen
We're
thing.
both semen buddies.
You're gonna leave me to die? So they're out in the woods now. They're out in the woods, as they establish much later. It's later in the day. They call it dusk. And they're talking, and Buck says, "Man, you remember that scream? I ain't heard nothing scream like that since Jeff from the John on Chimichanga Night."
He's doing Dennis Miller bits. He's like, "I haven't heard noise like that since Gachagooga opened for Oinga Boinga at the local Lake Oktoberfest, babe."
That's in my notes. He formatted it like a Dennis Miller joke. I ain't heard
Chimichanga Night, babe.
I ain't heard a sound like that since Jeff on the John on Chimichanga Night.
You can't not say it. You can try to not say
fully
it. Dennis
Miller
cadence.
It nothing
work.
else. He owns
and
that.
Jeff just bashfully says, "Well, you know I like it spicy," which is the worst thing you could say.
What the fuck does that mean, Jeff?
Yeah, well, because again, they have to keep going on the bit because this is the new thing they're doing now. See, they've decided, I'm going to spoil something else for you. They've decided this show is a comedy.
Do you think they had to are they targeting an award? Like they have to switch cat? Is it like the bear? Being like,
they couldn't win in the reality.
So they're going to cut to Buck doing an interview to camera about this Dennis Miller line saying, when it comes to Jeff and using the bathroom, he makes a lot of different sounds. But Chimichanga Night, that's bad. So you didn't have a joke.
Nope.
They listen
And
to
then
each
back
other's
out of
diarrhea
testimonial.
after each night of the week is a different food. And then they listen to each other's bowel movements after the meals. And there's rating systems for each one. And I'm just saying that this bit keeps going so far that it ends up in the testimonial later.
It cuts back to them walking, and you're like, already when he goes, that's bad. You're like, oh, great, perfect bit. At least that's the end of it. Surely they wouldn't cut out of the testimonial back to them walking and still continue the bit. But no, Buck goes, I've never seen a man go through so many plungers. Like, through the magic of editing, certain timestamps are implied. So, like, cutting away to a testimonial, cutting back to him still going on, it makes it seem like he's been doing this for 3 hours. And like it pans over the rest of the team, they are no longer laughing. Like a couple of them are, but certainly Jeff is just like looking at the ground like, what the fuck? What is he doing here?
Says one time Jeff's pooping sounded like 2 chipmunks humping in a wool sock.
Yeah.
He says that in the second testimonial of this bit. They go to 2 testimonials for a diarrhea joke.
That's like a Dennis Miller bit if he had just been shot in the head. That's like his like Dennis Miller having a stroke would say that. Like you could see the structure there, but it just all kind of fell apart. Chipmunks having sex in a sock. And you're like, oh no, are you okay?
And the thing is, if this was a normal movie or a show, you think, okay, this is actually going to come into play later. There's going to be a bit where they're going to be camping and Jeff's going to have to go use the bathroom, and they're going to hear the thing. They're going to be like, Jeff, quiet down. It's going to hear us. But he can't quiet down because he poops so loud.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the payoff for this bit. It's like, no, they are just trying to chew up minutes on their camera's memory. They're just looking at how many minutes they've shot.
Killing
Like,
time
we need
until
more.
they can die.
Can we get that guy back to talk about the bull cum some more? That went pretty well. Is he still alive?
So Buck finally, he says, this is where the growl came from. It kicked some bark off this tree as it came by. And Willie remembers that the ambush spot, it was stalking them the other day, right in this territory. And then he goes, you guys want to see it? And then he leads them off to the bedding that they've already seen. Not the whole team. Some of the team hasn't looked at the clear spot of dirt where this thing once sat.
The audience saw it is the important part.
Right.
Yes. Like that's,
and certainly the rest of the team could have said, yeah, it was a real big spot of dirt without any leaves in it.
I would have at some point said, even as a dumb hillbilly, I would have said, how did that diesel truck-sized monster come through here and leave only one scuff on this bark and that little patch of much, much, much smaller mud? It's kind of a miracle that's the only things they found, is my point.
How did it fit inside of that log?
That's a really good point.
Because we devoted 6 different scenes where we discovered it, we heard it inside the log and made a point that what was in there, we thought it was a smoke wolf, and it turned out we were wrong. Because those dog collars were actually what they thought was a Sasquatch, now know that it was the Grafton monster. I'm really having trouble reconciling the thing I saw in that video with something that could crawl through a rotted hole in the side of a log, which is now done 5 times.
Yeah.
We'll get answers to all those questions later in this episode.
Will we?
For sure. I have faith that this is going to happen. So they go to look at its bed for the second time in the episode. They find a track and they pause because they found a track and they're like, well, we don't know what the fuck to do from here. Only Wild Bill, our expert tracker, could possibly tell us what this means. This has never happened in the show. He has been called the tracker the whole time.
Episode 1, season 1, yeah.
And he does not, of all the team, like Trapper was always the best at like, I'm going to improvise forest lore. Maybe he even like had some authority in that area. But Wild Bill is wholly unqualified to do this. He has never done this before in his life. So they say, okay, Bill, you're the tracker. This is on you. And what he does is he goes, oh, look at this right here. Look at that. Look at this right here. What's that over there? I got something right here. Look at that. Like he never
I'm fine with it.
says,
I just like that he's demonstrating his skill. They're establishing that he is good at tracking. Send him off.
And
He's like a
then
dog
he
man
starts.
Well, the comedy music starts fading
Yeah.
in, and when that
The
happened, I
dreaded-
paused it to look down and realized there's only 90 seconds left in this
Yeah.
episode, and they're now doing comedy, Wild Bill comedy tracker goofing.
To close,
Because he
the
goes too
episode.
far. He starts like sniffing a log like a dog, and Buck realizes, oh no, this is stupid. This is fucking stupid. And he says, like totally like a dick, says, "Wow, Bill, you're really into this, ain't you, bud?" Like just like shuts it all down. Like, no, I'm not rewarding this with anything.
However, Huckleberry says, if he raises a leg and pisses, I'm not going to be the one letting him out.
Okay, but then
Inexplicable, but he's trying for a joke. Buck thought it was such a good idea.
yeah,
He
stole it.
decided, actually, you know what? That's my joke. And he says, well, if he tries to sniff my butt, I am out of here. And like, Huckleberry should have just turned and blown him away with that
Yep,
shotgun.
he
Just
should have shot him dead.
steal my fucking joke, will you? Right out of my mouth.
And I guess, again, I think the listeners are probably getting frustrated because we're doing such a poor job of taking them through the events of the episode, because we said they heard a noise. Like they heard the Grafton monster, and that's when they started looking for sign, because it's like it's now pitch black, and they're out there with the monster, and now they're just laughing and doing dog piss
Dogman?
jokes at each
Erotic
other.
Dogman bits.
And it's like, well, did they establish that noise wasn't it, or that it left, or that...
Or how is it making such small, subtle changes to the environment and making such very gentle noises?
You fool, Sean. They're going to answer your question right now, because Wild Bill pulls to a stop and says, oh my God, the tracks end right here. And then they all spend way too long going, but what could that mean? What does the tracks ending here mean? If the tracks end here, where else could they be? I think perhaps there are more tracks to be had if you would take a look, good sir. And then finally they decide, oh my God, as Huckleberry says, he's in the trees, boys. And as Willie says, he's airborne, boys. He's airborne. So the 1,500-pound hunchback, can't move his neck monster is propelling himself silently, elegantly through the treetops.
1,500 pounds.
To all of those questions.
Ludicrous. That thing is 40 tons. I saw the video. Whether or not if it can change shapes, fine. If it can grow and shrink, I'm saying the video they showed us, that's a 40-ton monster.
And now they're under aerial assault from it.
And cut to black. Cliffhanger. The freaking kaiju is airborne. It flies or something. It hovers. It can jump. They're all dead. This thing's above them. They're helpless against this thing.
There's
None of
only
their
one
weapons
thing it
hurt
can be
this.
doing, and that's a slam attack, right? Like something that
Yeah,
size
that's
only
right.
goes up to come right back down.
They ought to get ready to jump just at the right time.
Jump over that shockwave, baby. That's somehow the episode. Incredible.
Jesus Christ.
Incredible how little they've managed to do in their final season. It's not, they've decided it's not technically about Bigfoot. Amazing. An amazing job. It's time to end with our favorite quotes.
Jeez.
Let's go with, how about you, Sean?
Let's see. I have one there. Yeah, okay. This was happened very recently to what we're talking about. This was when they were in his ambush spot for the second spot, and they heard a very gentle noise. Oh, what was that tiny gentle noise? And then it cuts to Buck saying, "That sucker was busting brush, I can tell you that," which is a disgusting way to put it, but also I don't even think very accurate. I don't know. Fucking stupid show.
Okay, I'll go next. Mine's just a little moment, but I really like it. It's after they've done their first like nighttime investigation. They're coming back to look for more, and it's Willie who just like kind of quietly says as they're walking along in a moment in the woods, "Well, you can see a lot more in the daytime. That's for sure."
They're really getting to the bottom of his soul. Like,
Just occurred to him first time. He's like, "Man, Man, I see why people are talking about this daytime thing. All right, Jason, take us out.
No, we already said it, Buck. Now, old Jeff, he likes to milk the bulls. And the quote of the episode is Terry saying, "I can tell."
I can tell.
Dead stop. I can tell. Stares him down instantly.
Jesus Christ. Can't imagine saying that about someone.
Dude. Right off the bat, just met him.
Should have just ended with an old man fight right there, right on the ground. Just like something out of Grumpy Old Men. Them just like rolling over a boat and rolling into a lawnmower or something and just taking off and doing loops around the field.
I haven't heard screaming like that since Jeff on the John on Jimmy Jonga night.
Because you had to be a Bigfoot teacher, you had to open up your mouth. You had to be a Bigfoot teacher. All your friends were so knocked out. You had to have the last word last night. You know what everything's about. You had to have the white hot spotlight. You had to be a Bigfoot like